The LinkedIn Algorithm Explained. Hi, my name is Chris Casalino, and I'm the co founder and head of services at Uptown Creation, a B2B marketing and LinkedIn lead generation company. One of the biggest questions that we get asked is, you know, when should I post content? How do I post content that's actually going to be engaging? What are the ways that the LinkedIn algorithm is actually favoring content posts and just allowing my brand to get seen more? And one of the best ways to learn about this is from people at LinkedIn themselves. So, an employee by the name of Gus, that I put a link to his content stream in the description of this video, came out with a short post series where he did 6 posts over 6 days, and he called it The LinkedIn Algorithm Explained and How to Beat It. And so, one thing to be aware of before I go into everything is that it's always changing and you're always going to need to test new strategies. But with that being said, this gives you a great place to start. And some things never change that are just the core makings of great content, great posts, and great engagement that creates exactly what LinkedIn wants. Whenever you're thinking of making a post on LinkedIn, think about what LinkedIn's trying to achieve and their goals. They want to deliver great content to their users and keep them on the platform for even longer. So keep all those things in mind as I go through this. But what I'm going to be doing is going through the 6 posts that he made and pointing out the things that stood out to me and the things that you should be able to take away. So without further ado, let's go through post number 1. So the LinkedIn algorithm is going to take a number of things into account. One of the best ways that the algorithm is going to work is identifying things as spam, as low quality content versus high quality content. And those are kind of the 3 buckets you're going to get filtered into. And he goes through a number of ways that the algorithm's going to put you into those different buckets. So, how to avoid the spam filter. So, that should be the easiest thing. So, don't use bad grammar. Don't use a ton of links. If you're going to use a link, you should always be putting that link in the comment section. And you don't want to be the first person to comment that link. So maybe you want to wait an hour or so after you make a post outside of that golden hour. And we'll talk more about what that golden hour is. But if you really want to leave a link to something, do not put it in the post itself, put it in the comments, and do it about an hour after you post. Another way to avoid the spam filter is going to be not tagging more than 5 people. So just not spamming your audience, not spamming posts more than every 3 hours, which is easy enough, and not using hashtags that are spammy, like follow, comment, like, and all that stuff. So now you avoid the spam filter. So how do you get put in the high quality bucket versus the low quality bucket? So using hashtags is going to be a great way to get seen more. Gus is recommending to use 3 hashtags per post and not using more than that. Going very niche with your posts. This is going to be the number one way to make sure that your posts get seen by a lot of people. If you already have a niche audience, that's great. If you don't have a niche audience, you should be connecting with people that are similar to you to try to grow that. For example, I'm a pharmacist, so I connect with a lot of other pharmacists, and my posts get seen a lot because those people that are like me are engaging with that content. So if you are a marketing professional or you own a marketing agency or you own a t-shirt company, you should be connecting with other people that you might think as competitors because they're actually going to be some of the best advocates for your content to get seen more. So going niche with your content is going to be a huge thing. Post things that encourage a response. So we always talk about having a call to action. This is what it means. So ask a question, have something that the people looking at your post can do next, whether it's asking them to comment something and answer a specific question, or just getting them to do another action is going to go a long way. And then using strong keywords. So this will take a little bit of practice, but if you can just think about how you would tell somebody about your post in 5 words, maybe, make sure that those words are coming up within the post itself. And then the biggest takeaway from this is that first hour after you post is considered the golden hour. So you're going to want to get as much engagement possible at the first hour after you post. And that's going to get your post seen by even more people. So a good way to do that is sharing your post with, colleagues, friends, other people in your network. Throw it in a Slack channel if you're part of Slack, throw it in a WhatsApp message, and do those kind of offline things that are going to get your post seen by even more people. Another way to do this is engaging with other people's content during that first hour after a post. So let's say you make a post and now you start searching your own feed and throwing likes and comments on content that's similar. Those people are ultimately going to go and engage with your post at a higher rate than they otherwise would. Now on to the second post that he made. So again, he's talking about the golden hour. I don't think this can be overstated. That first hour after you make a post is going to be extremely, extremely important. Making sure that your post gets the most engagement it can within that hour takes a little bit of strategy. So you want to post at the time where your users are active. Gus says that this is usually between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. from Tuesdays to Thursdays. I think that you can, be experimental with the days of the week. I find that Mondays and Fridays are also great times to post, but do some testing with this. But posting earlier in the morning is probably going to be better for you. Making posts that are engaging. This is a huge concept that, again, can't be overstated. So one of the ways to do this that's easy is to make a LinkedIn poll. So the way that you can make a LinkedIn poll is just like any other post, but you can put options for people to choose. So you can ask a very basic question, give people the options to choose, and people are going to engage at a much higher rate than a normal post because it's easier to do so, and it's a poll. On a side note, using the new features that LinkedIn comes out with, like LinkedIn polls, is also a great way to increase the engagement and reach that you're getting on content. Interacting with other posts in the first hour is something that we kind of already talked about. Following a consistent posting schedule, so this just makes it so your content's predictable, is a big thing. Engaging with the people that engage with your post within the first hour. So ideally, you're going out and engaging with other people's content. You also want to be commenting back to anybody who's commenting on your content and making sure to engage with them. The things that you don't want to do is using more than 3 hashtags that could mark you as spam. You do not want to go back and edit your post. Anytime that you would do this, it would be better just to delete the post and repost it. Editing posts always weakens reach, and that's just a way that LinkedIn and all social media platforms kind of protect themselves, because the last thing you want is somebody to post like a viral video that gets a ton of engagement, and then all of a sudden they switch that post and it's something completely different, but it's still trending in that direction. So engagement kind of gets killed once you edit a post. You don't want to post and forget it either. You want to make sure to stay as active as you can in the hour following posting. On to third post. So again, that golden hour matters a lot. Now, this goes into a little bit more nuance of the algorithm itself. So how it's showing your content to people based on keywords, based on your connection level to them. A really interesting thing about the LinkedIn algorithm is that it is the only platform where if one of your first degree connections likes and comments on your post, now that's going to show up in the people that they're connected with's feed. So even if you're a second and third degree connection with somebody, your content could still show up in their feed if they have a first degree connection that engaged with that content. This is how things can go crazy viral on LinkedIn. So another thing is going to be making sure that you have a call to action in that post, like we talked about a little earlier. So just to recap here, you're going to want to make sure that your post doesn't get marked as spam. Then you're going to want to provide as much quality content to get into that high engagement and high quality content bucket. You can do this by going niche. You can do this by using keywords. You can do this by just providing real value. And then we'll go over some of the post specific things like adding a picture in a moment here. If you're getting value from this video, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. It really helps us out as we continue to grow. So another thing that the algorithm is going to look at is the types of groups and hashtags that you're using. So the groups that you're in, the hashtags that you're using, and showing your content to other people who are similar in that regard. On to the next and fourth post. So we already talked about kind of the time of when you're going to want to post, staying active after you post on comments that are coming into your post as well as other people's posts. So going out and engaging with other people's content. A huge insight here. Posts with images get twice as many comments as text posts. So you're always basically going to want to add an image. And one of the simple ways that a growth hacker explained it to me is that it just takes up more screen real estate. If you have a wall of text, that takes up only so much space. If you have a picture on top of that, though, that's going to take up more screen real estate. So it makes more sense that people are staying on your post longer. And the longer that somebody stays on your post, this tells the algorithm in LinkedIn, wow, this is great content. This person's really enjoying it. We should show it to more people. LinkedIn videos get 5 times the engagement of just text posts. And this is because there's a serious lack of video content on LinkedIn. Not as many people are comfortable posting videos. If you can get over that hump and get comfortable being behind a camera and posting video content, that is probably the number one way to increase your engagement and reach on LinkedIn and make sure that you're getting seen by people, just because there's such a severe lack of video content on LinkedIn. The algorithm is really going to favor your content, especially as you get more accustomed to posting on a schedule. So gaining extra traction, using keywords, using hashtags. You also can tag other people from your company. You don't want to tag more than 5 people, and you do not want to tag somebody that won't engage back. But if you know that you have an employee that you're on a Zoom call with, you may as well tag that person. And then if they engage within that first hour, that's going to tell the algorithm that it should show it to more people. And then, just knowing your audience and knowing who you're trying to speak to goes a long way. And this just comes with practice of posting content. So now the last concept that he's going to talk about is this social seller index. So this is a score that you can see if you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If you don't have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, there's a 60-day free trial in the description below. Usually it's only a 30-day free trial. If you use that link, I promise that you are going to get value and really enjoy what LinkedIn Sales Navigator has to offer. The LinkedIn Social Selling Index is a score that takes in a number of factors from your engagement level, how often you're posting, how similar you are to other people in your niche and industry, and then it gives you a score from 0 to 100. Now, if you rank in the top 90th percentile, you're going to get 30% more reach on your post. Now, how accurate that is, I'm a little bit skeptical about, but I think that it's safe to say that if your social seller index is higher, you're doing the things that LinkedIn wants you to do, like having a full profile, having personal hashtags, posting on a regular basis. So it's a no-brainer that if you shoot to get that social seller index a little bit higher, your content's going to perform better. Another way that you can increase that social seller index is going to come down to this last post, or second to last post that Gus made. So making sure that your profile is complete is a huge part of this. Another part is going to be building relationships with other people in your industry. That goes a long way. I always say like attracts like. So the example I used earlier, I'm a pharmacist, so I've connected with other pharmacists. Connect with other people that have similar job titles, just because they're going to be big advocates of your content because they see somebody that is similar to them doing a similar thing and it resonates with them. Now, the last post that Gus made kind of sums up everything here. So, a big part of making sure that your posts are going to get seen by the right people is getting engagement within that first hour. Something that I haven't talked about yet is the way that you structure your post matters a lot. So if you have seen content on LinkedIn, long posts don't just show up. You're going to have to hit see more, and it only shows you a little snippet. So you want to make sure to take full advantage of the first 200 characters of every post, because that's what's going to show up before you have to expand that post and hit see more. If people are clicking see more, that actually is a stronger indicator than a like on a post that it's a good content. So getting people to open up your post completely is kind of step number 1. Then from there, the way that you structure your post matters a lot. So making sure that you have small snippets of content. Maybe you number them like Gus did here. Maybe you break them into a line break at every sentence just to make it so it's easier to read. The more engaging that you can make a post and make sure that it's easy to follow along is going to keep people's eyes continuing to read, And as long as you keep people on your post for longer, your post is going to perform better. That's a huge thing that cannot be overstated, is that breaking your post into easy consume packages is going to make it that so your engagement goes up a lot. Getting engagement in that golden hour, especially from colleagues and people that are easy to get to engage with your content. Don't make it be difficult for yourself. And then you're going to want to include 3 hashtags, no more, no less. I think that that's the right number, and people like hard and fast rules that don't change. So keep it simple and just use 3 hashtags. Hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, please consider subscribing to the channel. There'll be a lot more content like this. And if you're interested in talking to us, Uptown Creation, about LinkedIn strategy and consulting, you can check us out at uptowncreation.com and schedule a call with myself or my team. Thanks for watching.